Hey, folks, how are we doing today? I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Welcome, welcome. I see a lot of, I already recognize a lot of people in the chat. Hi, TF. Welcome. Hope your cooking goes well. Uh, Derpy Doxy got your drawing program ready. That sounds fantastic. We're gonna get to drawing together. Yeah. King Games, hi. Hello, how we doing? Rachel Ward, first time attending live stream. Hello. Oh my god, Rachel. Well, welcome. Hi. I hope we won't disappoint. But yeah, hey everyone. Banu Sigma, welcome. Hello, welcome everyone. So, yeah, my for all of those who are new, there seem to be some new folks here who love the PNG tuber. Thank you very much. I'm using a new rig actually. You can see that like it does a little bit of like floaty motion and stuff like that. Um, you might see a little bit of that bounciness and floatiness. See if hopefully it doesn't get too tiring. But yeah, welcome everyone. For those of you who do not know, hi, my name is Gonzalo, and I'm one of the instructors here at Wing Canvas. Yeah, today we're going to be working on environmental storytelling. I just got this drawing I did a couple of weeks back, just so you have something nice to look at while while we introduce ourselves. But yeah, just as a reminder, join our Discord, people. It's amazing. It's great. Essentially today I'm going to be working with a couple of like 3D templates that I've made myself, just so I don't have to worry too much about perspective and thinking about it while I'm drawing this interior. And you can find all of those over on our Discord, completely for free. You could just save them and work on top of them, use them for anything you want. Yeah, it's a great place. Our Discord is awesome. Just yeah. Also, this pop-up is so fun. I never get tired of it. But yeah, so today we have Vin babysitting me. Round of applause for Vin, everyone. Thank you very much. They're gonna be in the comments, just making sure that I do things okay. But yeah, essentially, we're going to be looking at environmental storytelling. And we did a poll this week, which we do every time we do a stream for anyone who's new. We did a poll this week, and I gave you a couple of options from video games mostly, just because, I don't know, I guess video games are kind of my brand here at Wing Canvas. I do a lot of like gaming stuff as someone who's worked as a concept artist for a couple of years now. So, like, yeah, we'll give you a couple of video games and to actually my surprise, because we got a couple of like Nintendo games. We got Minecraft in there, which is like the most popular game of all time. Silksong won. So we're going to be doing an interior in the lands of Silksong, in the lands of Farloom. Specifically, we're going to be designing a tool shop inside the tiny little makeshift town of Bone Bottom. Chose that one specifically in case someone hasn't started playing yet. It's literally the first town you meet after the tutorial, so I didn't want to spoil people too much because it's a great freaking game if you haven't played. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to be doing today. I got some references and things prepped for it. Never played Hollow Knight or Silksong, but I love the art style from what I've seen. Yes, Rachel, it's one of my favorite games of all time. I'm absolutely terrible at it. To this day, I still haven't beaten Hollow Knight, not even the bad ending. And yeah, and I've yet to meet Silksong. I'm still stuck halfway through Act 2. They're very hard games, but they're absolutely gorgeous, like stunning games. They have a wonderful atmosphere, and yeah, the art style, like you say, is absolutely fantastic. One of my favorite indie game art styles ever, honestly. Yeah, they've kind of made me really like Metroidvanias. They are quite hard though. It's one of those games that you kind of have to get used to the controls and stuff. But anyways, so let's get rid of this lady over here and get a little bit started with this idea. So when I was talking about the templates, kind of what I meant is this kind of thing. Oh, hey, Cupcake. Welcome. Cupcake. Oh my god, I can't pronounce things. Welcome. Hi. God damn, I cannot pronounce things. Welcome. So this is what I was talking about when I was talking about templates. Essentially, I've got this low poly program that I've been using for some years now, and I just created a couple of like cut out versions of polygons in there, mostly a square in this case, kind of rectangular. Essentially, I like using these when I'm doing things like interiors because it gives me like a framework of like a kind of like a base for like building up structure and perspective without having to like full on put down a perspective grid. Hey, Carafeco, welcome. Hello again. Yes, indeed. Yeah, some of you got in here earlier before we started streaming, and I just talked to a bunch of you on the chat. But yeah, essentially, like, perspective is one of those things that's quite important, and having a grid always does very much help. But as someone who's drawn a lot of perspective, like for a living, essentially, I'm kind of like I can kind of like tell by ear, so I give myself a little bit of this just to have something to work on top of. Essentially, it's just a PNG essentially. Banu Sigma asks, okay, so I'm working with Sketchbook Pro. It's not really the best drawing software. It's paid, not very powerful. A lot of people use it on mobile devices. It's the one I started off with. They had a free version back when I started drawing back in 2016. I think I started digital drawing. Oh my god, I'm so old. And it's kind of my go-to just because I like instinctively know all of the keys and all of the stuff. So it really does make it a lot easier for me to just like draw quickly. So yeah, but if you're asking for the software for the 3D stuff, I use Blockbench for anything low poly. But yeah, essentially, I've got a bunch of references here, and I can actually show you guys over on my PureRef. Love my PureRef. You got a bunch of references of what Bone Button looks like at different stages of the game, and I'm essentially going to try and replicate the vibe of the buildings and the constructions of them. And then we're going to work on the interior specifically. We're going to be designing a tool shop. So yeah, I'm gonna go in and essentially try and use this kind of like, again, like I'm using this mostly to give me this kind of like sense of perspective. I'm not going to make a square like a rectangular building. A lot of these, especially like in Bone Bottom, they're a bit more ramshackled, so they have like more kind of like weird wobbly shapes to them. So I'm gonna try and do something that's a bit more tent-like when it comes to like the outside of this building, and I'm just going to use this like roughly design a little bit of like the outside of this building to kind of like give us a little bit of a framework of what we're working with essentially. So yeah, Bone Bottom specifically is like this ramshackled kind of like village style like place that's, you know, it's where you start the game. There's like this group of pilgrims that are all making the pilgrimage to the citadel, trying to survive up to there. And we're essentially going to like just roughly design what like a little bit of the outside of this building looks like. Again, take it into account with the perspective here, so then we can populate the interior. Yeah, ramshackled is the word for Bone Bottom. It's all very very poorly built buildings. Yeah, so you have a lot of tents, but you also have like a lot of like very bony style structures because it's right next to another biome. What was the name of it? I have it somewhere here. So it's right next to the first, like what the first level of the game you could call, which is the Marrow, which is essentially like a bone and lava kind of place. So yeah, so like there's like a lot of like shards and bones and stony things. The tusks remind me of Monster Hunter cups. Yeah, big tusks is like a big thing for like showcasing like this kind of like more primitive style kind of like drawing. I'm guessing it's probably in the Monster Hunter World, which was the one that was going for more of like a primitive vibe. That's a very pretty game as well. One I haven't played actually. But very, very pretty game. I need to get it if only just to make pretty NPCs, like make pretty PCs, sorry, and just get them cool little armor sets. I love the little cats. What are the cats called in Monster Hunter? I forgot. Um, they have a name. But yeah, there's like these cat companions. Hello, just checking in real quick. Don't forget to save. Thank you, Kiss. Hi. How you doing, Kiss? Yes. I'm going to be saving a lot. Felines. I'm going to be saving a lot. For those who don't know, here with Canvas, we teach classes, and I'm one of the instructors. And Giz is one of my best students over the classes, and I was with them, and also actually Tiev, who's also on chat. I was teaching a class this Saturday, and right as the class was about to end, my software crashed, and I realized I hadn't clicked save throughout the entirety of the 2 hours that I had been drawing for. So all of the progress was absolutely lost. So yeah, we'll know what happened to the coral and that fish parrot thing when you didn't save exactly. Don't give me too much credit to a snoozing student. Nah, Giz is great. Absolute fantastic student. But yeah, so we're gonna have like this kind of like outside essentially of the building. And I think looking at some of what the buildings look like here on my other monitor, we're probably going to like have this kind of like wrapping around more solid kind of structure here, like this more structural wall essentially. That even though it's a bit like weird again, very bone heavy kind of like structure as we go. So something like this, I'm going to, because it's supposed to be a shop, we're doing a tool shop, I'm going to try and keep it a little bit open to the public, as if like people could come in here, little bugs could come in here and buy things essentially. So something like this, again, very roughly, just kind of like setting some of these expectations for the shop, which is going to help me now give like a little bit of a layout of what like this is going to look like. So we're going to have kind of like this rough kind of wall throughout here that curves around, and then we're going to have an open area here and another open area here, with like this big column over here. Fantastic. So that just gives us a little bit of like an idea of what like the interior part of our shop is going to be like, just because like I'm using more of like this outside view of the shop. Essentially what we're doing here is we're kind of like more focusing on the planning than on specific composition and like drawing the shop from like inside essentially. Sorry, still a bit of a cold. But yeah. Did you create this model in Sketchbook Pro or did you create it elsewhere? I created it elsewhere. Cupcake. I created the model over on Blockbench. Essentially, you guys can download them though if you guys want this model and a couple more. You can go over to the Discord. Where's the little ping? Discord. Join our Discord. There will be a link somewhere. I'm sure Vin's gonna post a link, or or Kevin if they shield shows up sometimes to these. But yeah, you can go over to our Discord and there will be links there. Yeah. Yes, thank you, Guess. See you, Debbie. Have a nice one. Hello, Higher Designs. Hello, Fountain Waters. Hi, how you guys doing? But yeah, so essentially that's kind of like what we're going to like do. Like we're tackling this in this kind of like almost isometric kind of angle, because what the goal for me is, as someone who's worked in concept art, it's more about showcasing as much as I can rather than framing it specifically. Once you're in that situation where like it's your turn to like create like a specific shot for a movie or a specific angle for a comic book or something like that, then the composition and the framing comes in. But right now we're just designing essentially, so we want a bit more of like a you know, like a look about it from the back. So yeah, so this is kind of like what I think the shop is going to look like from the outside, but now we're going to focus in on the inside. And again, I'm going to kind of roughly follow these kind of like proportions that I've built for myself here. There's going to be more of like an angle like this because it's going to kind of like turn around. It's going to be more something of this sort. I think I'm going to put a little like table on here, like some sort of, again, like not defining it too much, just doing a little cube for now. But there's going to be here like a little space of a counter style thing where like people can come up and buy different things. And maybe we're gonna close off this whole area. Let's say we can put like a little bit of like a blanket here essentially, to try and like close off this area. So like the only place that people can really engage with the shop is through this angle essentially. So yeah, we're going to use this as kind of like our vague kind of idea of what the shop is going to look like. Amazing. I'm sleepy, but I'm here. I understand the higher designs. Yeah, happens very, very often. I'm also sleepy. uh, do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Sorry, guys, some setup. Something went wrong. Okay, fixed it. Okay, I think that's good. I think that works now. Amazing. Okay, awesome. Perfect. So yeah, this is kind of like what we're focusing on. For everyone who's tuning in right now, we're doing interior design. So yeah, we want to kind of like tell a little bit of a story. We want everyone, whenever we look at this interior, to understand that what we've drawn, that what we've created, is very recognizable early as like a tool shop, like a little workshop where a little bug is making different types of tools. So I think I'm going to start off by creating like a little place here in the back where our bug is going to be working on set tools, designing set tools, and customizing some tools. Right now, I'm going to be working with some vague shapes to try and create some like almost like like some placeholders essentially, and then we're going to define them more in the style of Hollow Knight, because Hollow Knight is like at the scale of a bug, so a lot of the materials, a lot of the things are not exactly like the common things that we're used to, but for now I want kind of like a table here with some sort of lamp. We might have to do something with like either like a lava rock or maybe like one of those silk moths that they have in the game. They were Luma flies in the first game, but I think in Silksong they're silk moths specifically. Yeah, and essentially I want them to have like some sort of papers and like things where like they're coming up with some potential designs essentially. Maybe there's like a big clamp or something. But essentially it's like they're coming up with designs for tools. Want to tell a little bit of a story. So I'm thinking through what a workshop for a bug that makes tools would look like in this universe, essentially. Good morning, pretty people. Good morning, the Agent Pansexual. Welcome. Higher designs lol. Yeah, the life of a creative is definitely one in need of sleep. At one point years ago, my mom asked my graphic designer teacher as she was concerned about my sleep habits. Yes, yeah, sleep is incredibly necessary, especially for creatives. I know it's very easy for us to get obsessed with the kind of work that we're doing and like forget about work-life balance. But yeah, no, it's incredibly important. You want to make sure that you take care of yourself and your sleep schedule. But yeah, I think maybe adding like right here at the back a little bit of a shelf, some sort of shelving unit with some scrolls, maybe to kind of like imply this idea that this is where our bug essentially stores like their parchment for like their tool ideas, their like blueprints and stuff like that. So I know scrolls are like a big way of like storing things in the world of Hollow Knight. Again, you want when you're doing this kind of thing, when you're creating an interior and stuff, you want to not just think of like you want like a mixture of ideas. You want to think of like what is going to read as this idea for your audience, for a general audience, but also you want to think about how are these ideas going to make sense within the world that you're working in. In this case, we're working within the world of Hollow Knight, so it helps to be acquainted with it. Thankfully, I've spent a lot of hours with this game, so I'm fairly acquainted with the world of Hollow Knight. But if you are not, then doing research about what kind of ways things are done within this world, what the standards are, etc., is incredibly helpful, because it's going to lead to essentially like making sure that the world feels cohesive and feels like it makes sense. Yeah. He said, "Yep, that comes with the territory. Perfectly normal." Yeah, it is fairly normal for artists to to not take care of themselves and not allow themselves to sleep enough. But it's not a good thing, and we should definitely fight against that being a normal thing. I'm thinking instead of a shelf, because I don't want it to take too much space, maybe I have like some more like things plopped over here to give us some like blueprint or something of that sort. Then obviously we want to have inventory, because at the end of the day this is a shop, so it's going to be used for like there's going to be like storage, there's going to be places where we have a bunch of stuff that our bug is going to be selling. So I think within this kind of like rounded section, we might want to start creating some boxes, some jars. Jars has been a thing certainly for Hollow Knight, I know. There's like these package kind of like ideas in Silksong, where like you just have like these bundles with like a lot of like cloths over them, essentially. That's fairly common within Farlam, so maybe a little bit of that idea of like storage. Again, trying to thematically match the idea of storage with the world that we're seeing. There's these kind of like packages that we see a lot, and maybe we can put some other things around them that read more as packages to us. So maybe some boxes or some, I think some urns would be good. Maybe creating something like a little bit of a, not like an urn. An urn is where you put dead people. Like a vase. That's what I wanted to say. Like a vase. Something like a vase. Yeah, something like a vase with like maybe like a lid on it. Some sort of like stone or wooden lid on it, and like a vase, maybe again covered with these ideas of the kind of like cloths covering everything. Again, we're trying to mix it in with the thematic ideas that exist within Bone Bottom. Just as a reminder for everyone who hasn't played the game, these are kind of like the kind of looks that we get in Bone Bottom. So I'm kind of like playing around with that. Rachel Ward, like the idea of using jars, like the kind you keep fireflies in. First, the bug thing. Yeah, nah, it's an urn. Grandma, they're chilling. Yes, it's canon now. Raging pansexuals, right? It's canon now. It's an urn. It's official. If anyone asks, it's fully an urn. But yeah, no, like keeping this kind of like idea of the cloth, maybe this idea of the ropes being tied around with everything and stuff. Again, we're trying to, like, you see how incredibly rough it is right now, but I'm just thinking about what this could be and what this could look like. Again, for this, for example, for this table kind of thing, do I want to play with something very advanced or very rough? There's a couple of ideas we could do here. This could essentially just be like a piece of like stone or rock that's been carved at this angle. That could very much be like if we want to make it more primitive and more rough. But I think because of the idea of this specific bug being a tinkerer, maybe something a bit more elaborate could work without like breaking the illusion and like the world building, quote unquote, that we have here in Bone Bottom. So we do see a bench made of bones. So maybe something of that sort, where like we have something that's still primitive but calls to the kind of like materials that are available within this world. So something like that, where like we could have maybe instead of a full-on table, we could have like these poles to the side. Maybe even like harkening back to the idea of big fangs. Again, this whole place is right next to a giant bone graveyard full of bone creatures and things of that sort. So it's all very bony. So maybe having these kind of like big shapes of bone over here, and having the parchment, the place that he's writing on, be this stretched parchment that's tied to these bones, maybe adding a little bit of rips and stuff like that, and then drawing like we'll come in with detail later and draw some like tool ideas, some like blueprint style things in there. Hi everyone, Jess, how you doing? Welcome. Welcome, Jess, welcome to the stream. So yeah, something like that I think could work. And again, trying to bring it back to the idea of like it being a writing table, so some more table-y aspects to it. So again, maybe with something like stone, we make like a big slab. I'm not even sure if there's stone here. It might be just like fossilized bone or something of that sort. But like just like a little bit of a bone slab here to hold everything together. Something like this. And yeah, and just have like again another protruding bone here to keep this at an angle. Okay, let's make it another kind of fang kind of shape. Something like this. Yeah, something like that, to kind of like keep it propped up. And I'm going a little bit wonky with it because I want these to like look and feel wonky, because I want them to look like roughly cut up stones essentially. So yeah, we're taking that like that perspective into account, but kind of like trying to make it feel very makeshift, very wonky, something of this sort. Yeah, something like that, where it's like this little table that they've got. Again, the Luma fly, or in this case, again, I think it's a silk fly. If anyone's like very into the lore, let me know. I think the second game only has silk flies, even though the first one has Luma flies, and those two are different somehow. But it's like a firefly that's inside a jar, essentially. Yeah. What type of pen am I using? I'm using this one. It's one of the defaults that I've like edited a little bit. Essentially, I've got this one in all the different software that I use. I use Krita and Procreate and stuff. Essentially, it's just an oval that I've set to like repeat like this and like different random angles. And I've also set like some like at low pressure sits thinner and like high pressure sits thicker, so like it has a little bit of a taper. That's pretty much it. No opacity, like 100% opacity for it. So yeah, that's essentially the pen that I'm using. You can very easily build it in pretty much any software that allows you to create pens. I haven't finished Hollow Knight, so I know almost nothing about Silksong. Oh, yeah, it's yeah, I haven't finished Hollow Knight either. I've played Hollow Knight for years now, and I've yet to finish the base game. But as soon as Silksong was out, I started playing it anyways. To be fair, in Hollow Knight, I kind of spoiled all the different endings and all the lore for myself, because I just couldn't help but watch a bunch of lore videos about it. It is just a very, very fun, very, very fun game. But yeah, so essentially, like, this is kind of like their work table. We have like all these sacks over here. Let me just bring these together like this. There we go. Fantastic. So we have all these sacks over here. We're gonna have some parchments on the wall. Maybe we have we'll do a little bit of like tying them together and stuff. So like there's a little bit of care and stuff. Maybe we actually make them a little rougher paper wise, instead of like being these clean sheets of paper. They're going to be these kind of like torn leathery things, or like they're using all the parchment they can get. Again, this is a very low-tech city. They're kind of like just barely surviving in here. So like we're still trying to create this idea of a workshop, but with the caveat of like they're essentially just like barely alive at this point. So let's put some shelves up and put a bunch of stuff on those shelves. So let me just go back to kind of the idea here. So it's all very ramshackle to have this kind of thing. Looking at my references, yeah, Pure Rough is so freaking useful, guys. Okay, so yeah, we're going to create some shelving units essentially, and I want like a big shelf right here next to the kind of like area where we're buying things. Let me do this in another layer just so we can like empty it, but I want a shelf here. It's going to be a bit ramshackled. Again, I don't want it to be like a perfect shape. I want it to be a bit like out there essentially, and just warp it a little bit around. But it's going to be right here, right next to our our area of work and study. And yeah, I'm gonna use this kind of like shape as a form for the shelf. Let me just lower the opacity. There's gonna be a lot of lowering and highering opacity here because I'm drawing things over other things and stuff. I work on geometric shapes, or if I'm really feeling ambitious, then I do 60 seconds per image figure drawing. And nice, I doodle geometric shapes in class so I can focus while also having my hand busy. Yeah, that's a good one, honestly. It's a good warm up. I very much like doing that. Raging Pansexual. That's a very fun thing to do, and a very fun doodling exercise, especially to get used to it. And as someone who's like starting in the world of art, it's definitely something I'd recommend people do. So I'm going to try and create something. Oh, I don't want this on the pen smoothing. I don't like pen smoothing. I'm going to try to create something a bit like that implies maybe some sort of wood. We do have some sort of wood in this universe. It's not very clear like what types there are and stuff like that, but I'm going with this kind of look to make it again feel kind of like ramshackled. I'm going to use that word continuously, but that is the entire vibe of Moss Bottom. It's like barely holding on. And without spoiling much, if you know, you know, this city has to be rebuilt a couple times. So yeah, it's the place that survived. That's its whole vibe. So I'm going to use that here to create some like sort of planks that kind of like come in and out and create this kind of like shape more or less as we go. Yeah. So something like this. I'm using this warp tool a lot, and I love using it when I'm working in this kind of medium, like when I'm doing things like interiors and stuff. It helps a lot with like perspective. I think it's actually called the perspective tool, is it? Is it called transform? It's called transform tool. Everyone has like this sort of kind of like perspective work. Like every software I work with has this kind of like tool. Essentially, it just lets you stretch things around. Oh, hey, how you doing? Yeah, Kevin's here. Woo woo. Wait, tell me more about this universe. I'm getting a little of a herbalist vibe from just seeing the bits and pieces of the background. Ooh, that's nice. Glad to hear that, Jesse. Honestly, it's I'm going for like a little bit of everything. I want to then lather some like tools all over the place to make it more obvious that it's kind of like a toolsmith. This is just like the supplies, because I want it to be a toolsmith's but also like a shop. So I'm kind of focusing on like a little bit of both. The idea of like a lot of availability of resources, but also like some specifics to like tool making and things. So yeah, I want to create some holders here for some tools. Again, just pretty roughly. I'm gonna be very rough today overall because I don't wanna spend too much on things that don't really matter. Like as concept art goes, you do want to like kind of be quick about the things that you're doing, and with like environmental design, I feel like just trying to get things done first, then clean them up later is a pretty good idea, because otherwise things might feel very overwhelming. But essentially, I'm going to do a couple of shelves here, and then we can put some stuff, plop some stuff down in the shelves. This is very different from the angle that the game uses, by the way. I feel like a more three-dimensional angle is a bit um, more challenging and a bit more fun. But yeah, so here I'm going to cut out a couple of holes in the wood here, and we're going to plop down a couple of tools. It's going to be kind of like a little bit of a tool rack. So we're going to put a couple of tools in there and then some other tools next to that. So let's delete this cube that we used, stretch that cube, not really a cube, that we used for reference, and let's delete some of the stuff here that we cannot see. Fantastic. Yeah, we've got a little makeshift table over here for planning out things, and a little parchments on the wall. Fantastic. Okay, cool. So now let's lower the opacity in general and put some tools around. So, seeing the kind of tools that they have in Farloom, which is the name of the kingdom, but in Hollow Knight in general, like we have to add some sort of pin or nail. Nail in the first game. I think they use pins in the second game, actually. Let me not add a nail then. Let's do more of a pin. So there's this hunting one that they use later on in the game. Some enemies have this one where it's kind of like has this C shape on it. It's kind of like a harpoon. So let's add one of those here to the thing. It's kind of like a harpoon thing. Yeah, maybe we do add a pin just because like a nail from the first game, maybe. Yeah, those are fun anyways. Just a little nail here from the first game. They're pretty simple stuff. Oh, I'm not keeping up with with chat at all. I can see Justice Vulture Hermit character in this room too. Oh yes, actually, they'd vibe for sure. Hello, after attending a background one of my pieces for the first time, it seems I found the stream at the perfect time. Heck yeah, Valken. Come in here. We're doing backgrounds. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, if you guys, again, just to reiterate, let me do another Discord plug for a little second. Discord pop-up, Discord plug. If you guys want access to these things, again, it's super simple. It's just a screenshot of like 3 planes that I put in a low poly 3D thing. But if you want these, they're very helpful for this kind of thing when you're doing interiors. They give you a pretty good guide of the kind of vibe that you're going for. So, yeah, 100% for free, all on the Discord. Join it. I think I posted it on the live stream area. If not, I'm sure Kevin can give you guys a direct link for it. But yeah, join the Discord. It's great, free stuff. Also, like great community and feedback and all that good stuff. But free stuff. So yeah, a nail, a little pin thing for hunting, like the little spear thing, and then I think I'm gonna keep an empty rack in here. Yeah, something to give you that idea that there's some tools here available. We're gonna also put some like tools for sale on the main kind of like display area where people like interact and stuff. But yeah, just adding these already like gives it a pretty interesting kind of like vibe to this thing. And again, we'll draw some details and like do some of those weird language symbols they have and some drawings of like maybe future tools you might get in the game or something. I'm not happy with the perspective on this leg of the thing, so maybe I'm gonna just make it be like maybe a half wooden, maybe, or maybe like a rock that's protruding a lot more. The thing that's a bit annoying about the shapes that are a bit more rounded and vague is that it's a bit harder sometimes to fully decipher what perspective you're looking at. So sometimes in cases like these, they can become a bit annoying. I think I'm going to change this up a little bit. I think I'm gonna make it like there's the rocks for legs, but it's going to be like a wooden platform because I think that's gonna help the perspective read a lot better. So it's gonna be a wooden platform now. Yeah, something like this. Again, very makeshift. I want to make sure that like the different slats of wood are very noticeable and different, just so like it looks very like almost poorly made. Like they made it the best that they could with the little materials that they had. Because yeah, lack of resources is kind of a big deal when it comes to this town, and kind of like the towns in the game in general. That's a thing I really liked about Silksong. If you haven't played it, you can donate different at different times and stuff, and complete different missions for towns, and they visually change most of the time when you do that, and it feels quite nice. Yeah, it makes me kind of happy to know that I'm actually helping the people of Farloom, because their situation is not very good. Yeah, something like that is quite nice, I think. Yeah, we're getting there. Oh my god. Been waiting to try interior design for Final Fantasy XIV, so those templates are going to be great to have. Heck yeah! I have like the partner of one of my best friends is obsessed with Final Fantasy XIV. That's the only reason I know about it. Please have a photo of dead grandma. Okay, we need to put a photo of the Buck's dead grandma. See, this is what environmental storytelling is all about. I think I really failed the background on the piece I was working on. It looks extremely amateurish in general. I'm planning on seriously leveling up this year. Yes, it's tough. Backgrounds are tough. Again, to reiterate, right now I'm doing this kind of like almost isometric perspective because the point I'm trying to get across here is just designing it from more of like a god point of view. Then if I were to like want to do, I don't know, like a comic book panel on this room, then I could think about like these different things. Like let's say I want to draw our friend the bug, um just sitting here like doing his little doodling and stuff. He's got antennas because why not? Yeah, then I would take into account the kind of like stuff that I've built so far and create like a little bit of depth, and give it like a little bit of motion and framing and like do something to make the scene more dynamic and stuff. But right now I'm kind of going for clarity over framing essentially. And this is kind of like, what if you had to hand this over to like a 3D artist so then they could like model out the room, or if you had to hand this over to like an animator and be like, hey, we want you, or a storyboard artist be like, we want you to frame different shots within this environment essentially. So like it's more of like we're focusing on the design aspect of it. And yeah, we're gonna have to put a little a little portrait of the dead grandma, because we accidentally said urn and now that's canon. uh, so yeah, let's put up a shelf here, with some more tools, and then we're gonna do like another like workbench. So like this is where he designs the things, this is where he's going to be building them essentially. So let me get my references back up. You ought to post it on your Discord. We have plenty of users that are able to help out. Yes, 100%. Oh my god, Jess is doing the plugs for me. Join our Discords, people. It's fantastic. It's awesome. I think if you do /Discord on the thing, it'll pop up with the link. But yeah, join our Discord. It's generally great. I'm there every single week, giving feedback and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a fantastic place to be. So hop on in. Okay, let's do a little bit of a shelf. I've got some references from actual workshops and how they keep their tools and stuff. I'm going to draw here like a little bit of a shelf again where like the tools are going to be hanging vertically. I think that's pretty popular and I think it works quite well. Instead of like a piece of wood, I think I want to do like a slanted rock. I think that works a bit better. Again, it's a bit hard sometimes with these to give an accurate perspective and stuff, but yeah, something like this with then some like holes here, like some like metal bits essentially to hold different weapons and tools. Cool. And then I have some references, right? Okay, without spoiling much of the game, I do have like a big picture with a bunch of the tools that you get throughout the game. So I'm kind of gonna put a couple of them as Easter eggs, but I'm not gonna tell you when I'm gonna do it, just in case you want to play the game and you don't know what these things are. So yeah, there's no reason you should know when I'm drawing like one of the tools that you unlock in the game and when I'm just drawing just like a random like tool looking thing. So yeah, it should be pretty okay in general. Not gonna tell you, shouldn't spoil too much. But yeah, if you're ever playing the game after this and you find a tool and you're like, oh my god, that's one of the things that Gonzalo drew. Yeah, you're welcome. But yeah, something like this I think could look pretty cool. For those who have played the game and know what the tools look like, well, you take that with you. That's something that you get for free, just for being a wonderful person that played the game. I also just realized I have reference of this little pin thing, and it does not look like this. So, 1 second. Boop. Let me change that. So it's a pin, but then has like a weird handle rope thing on the very end. Yeah, perfect. And then some string coming down, which again, not very important, but something like that. So yeah, something that's a bit less clear, but there we go. Amazing. So yeah, also gonna draw some like some tools that someone would have in their workshop in general. It's very useful. I never did that before this, but I want to start creating more of a sense of place for my characters and start making them my art look more natural. Ooh, post it. Nice. I'll take a look at it after the stream. But yeah, it's one of those things that backgrounds can do for you. Generally, just create that sense of space and a mood as well. Like it really does change a lot of like what you're doing. But I can understand how they're challenging. I myself I think of myself more as a character artist than a background designer. We have this wonderful like background artist. She's actually worked professionally as a layout artist for animation. Kelsey here in Wing Canvas. She's an instructor now, and yeah, she actually started with Wing Canvas, I believe. She's got a whole Q&A where you can see her whole story, but I believe she started working with Faye Wing Canvas in person, and then like has been working as a layout artist in the animation industry. So yeah, she's freaking go-to backgrounds. That sounds like an awesome goal. You should write that down for goals 2026. Hey, Chocolate Fan, welcome. How to make a comic? That's a good question. Jesse has tons of videos on how to make a comic, just like laying around here in the on the YouTube channel. So take a look at them. I've only got a passing knowledge of comics. I've made a couple, but yeah, no, Jessie is the queen of comments. So if you want to go for comic book tutorials, Jessie's stuff is 100% the way to go. But yeah, this is a thing you could do as a step for like writing a comic though. Designing your own little background of like a room where you want like a scene to take place. Yeah, it's always quite useful to know where things are going and things of that sort. I'm not really liking this thing. I'm going to have it be a wooden board. I don't like the idea of the stone. I like the idea of a wooden board a bit more. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. See, this is why we don't go too clean with this. We're just coming up with ideas and putting down shapes and trying to figure things out still. So, yeah. This is coming down from the ceiling. We got that little thing. Okay, let's move on now to a little table here at the side. Let's do a little workshop table. Hello, what I miss? Cult of the Hermits. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, we're just doing some interior design. We're trying to come up with like what a little workshop looks like for a bug in the little town of Bone Blossom on Silksong. Yeah, the Kingdom of Farlam. Might be on my end. Might be yours. Ooh, is the thing lagging? I hope it's not lagging. Let me know, guys. There has been a storm for the last couple of days over here, so maybe. I really hope it's not. Have a ton of great streams and videos on comics. Yes, Jess knows. Putting a glow in the dark stars of the ceiling on my bedroom. Wow, that's talk about environment design. That's amazing. Did I miss any art features? And what's good? We're getting people here. Not much, honestly. We've just been talking about a little bit of interior design, a little bit of the lore of Silksong specifically. Just discussing what like the game is about and things like that. I think I'm gonna do a big rock for kind of like the work area, because again I want to bring it back to this idea of like makeshift kind of like place. And yeah, this is coming out a little bit here because we're going to have this kind of like sheet curtain covering this whole area up. Security, I don't think, is very much a concern of these bugs. They're all pilgrims and they're kind of like trust each other a little bit. So, you know, it's not, we don't really need pretty strong walls. A little like curtain will do. Yeah. Do I think something like this, full on a big rock, a big slab. What I'm gonna do is I think they do this in the game, and if not, I've seen this in other places where like if you want to turn a rock into a table, what you do is you put a little bit of cloth on top of it, and suddenly feels a lot more official and workable. So yeah, a little bit of this torn cloth that's going around throughout like the entirety of the settlement. So yeah, just a little torn cloth coming in, and suddenly it feels more like a table. Amazing. So something like this, again, want to tear the edges a little bit. Something like this as like the place where the tools are made. Let's delete some of this sack from behind here, and maybe change some of the shape of the sack here to kind of like play more with the ropes, because we've kind of like buried them in the background there. Yeah, we're gonna need a couple of things here. So first of all, we're going to need a portrait of his dead grandma, which is very important because one of those jars is for supplies and the other one is an urn with his dead grandma inside. We're not sure which one, but that's the thing we just came up with, and it's official now, and we need to add it. So we're going to have a little drawing here of dead grandma, and probably put a little candle next to it. Let me actually getting the comments. Oh my god, so many comments. Putting the glow in the dark stones, blah blah blah. Yo, what's good? Trash gamer. Oh my god, welcome, VIP nerd. Woo woo. I don't think so called. I'm trying to make comic, but I don't know how to start. Yes, Kev, if you're in the comments, or Vin, if you're there as well, give us some links to some of the comic book videos, because we have wonderful videos by Jessie where like she just takes you to the whole thing. Do you have a storyline? Yes, good question, TF. TF's one of my students. Very proud of her stuff. Incredible stuff. This story you want to tell? Yes. Okay, everyone's talking about the story and stuff in the comments. Blah 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 blah. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. You guys talking too much about story. I think I'm gonna keep going then. Let you guys discuss that in there. Okay, so the grandma. Let's do a little stop everything and do very important. We're gonna do the little portrait of the grandma. She's gonna have glasses because she's a grandma. Grandma bug. Little sad, drippy little things. Tiny little eyes, maybe not even eyes at all. Let's give her like, should we? No, actually, let's change the shape and make her a bit more like huddled. I think that makes more sense for grandma. Maybe she's got like a big scarf. Big grandma scarf. Yeah, something like this. It's a little bit of a torn thing. This is grandma. She's got the big glasses, a little bit of a proboscis kind of thing, and the droopy earrings. This is grandma, and we miss grandma a lot. How else do you make a bug look like a grandma, guys? There's not much else I can think of other than this. So this is the old grandma. You made me do this. Now we have a little drawing of grandma on a picture frame. Yeah. So there we go. That's our grandma portrait in there. Very important for the storytelling. Give her a scarf. Yes. Grandma Buggy. She shall be missed. We shall mourn the death of Grandma Buggy every single day. Let's put a little candle in there. See, this is kind of like what environmental storytelling is all about. Like, no one is going to explain the grandma, but we have a little lit candle next to a little grandma bug. It's kind of up to you to understand that this man's grandma passed away, and maybe one of those jars is not full of supplies, and it's a little urn. So there we go. That's grandma. Grandma bug, very important for today. Family pictures always nice, yes. Okay, so this might be explained earlier in the stream, but what does background a revealing narrative actually mean? Okay, so actually I haven't talked about this, Little High, so let me explain that. Essentially, environmental storytelling is a term that we use to call attention to the fact that the way an environment is laid out, the things that are in that environment, tell a story in it of themselves. In this case, we're working backgrounds. We're starting with a story, a thing we want to tell. In this case, we want to communicate that this is a tool shop where someone lives, and also we've decided that they have a grandma who passed away. These are things that we want to tell through an environment without like writing them down or having a character tell you these things. So environmental storytelling is how do you communicate that just through the use of an environment. In this case, what we're doing is we are, again, working backwards from it. So we're using a bunch of the resources that we have in order to try and tell that story visually through the stuff that we're putting inside this workshop to make it look like a tools workshop, to make it look like a shop, to make it look like this person's grandma passed away. Uh, so yeah, the stuff that we're adding, the way that we're populating the environment tells us a bit about the story. Simplest form I could think about, whenever you're playing a game and there's like a dead person somewhere, it tells you that someone died there. Maybe this is a dangerous area. Do you know the typical like skull as you enter an area and you're like, oh, bad things might happen here. That's kind of environmental design. It's very on the nose environmental design, but it's environmental storytelling. You're saying, hey, this is a place where people could die, so skull. Yeah, that's essentially kind of like the vibe of environmental storytelling. Let me actually give you an example with a minor spoiler from the first Hollow Knight game. So if you've played Hollow Knight, this is one of the first shock keeps that you unlock. He sells you a lot of stuff, and you can see this is like what his little hut looks like. There are clues within this hut to who this person is and what things you might find later on in his story, like this giant nail over here, or the fact that he's got the skull of some great beasts. That tells you something about who he is. When you first look at it, you don't really see that, but as you like as you understand his character more, you realize that those were clues that were there all along, essentially. So yeah, that's more of a subtle storytelling because it's part of a twist, but yeah, that's an example of environmental storytelling. I hope I explained that well as I. So it's a tool in show don't tell art. Essentially, yeah, it's a show don't tell thing. Yeah. Same way we do character design, where like we're trying to communicate something through our character. Good character design is communicative above everything else. Like the point of a good character design is that you look at someone and you understand who they are, or you understand whatever like the writer wants you to understand. Because sometimes you could do twist like character designs. Think of like the prince from Frozen. He looks like the normal Disney prince. Twist, it turns out he's a bad guy. Sorry for ruining Frozen for the 5 people who have had the pleasure of not watching it yet. But yeah, essentially, like that is an example of environmental of like good character design, because you're telling the audience something, you're priming them to think in a certain way. In that case, because you want to twist it. In most cases, you want people to understand who your character is by looking at them. But yeah, that's those are forms of good character design, because at the end of the day, what we are when we're artists, we're kind of storytellers. We're trying to communicate something to someone else, and we're doing that visually. So a good character design shows you who that person is, as well as a good environment tells you about that environment. Sometimes it wants to hide those things, not make it super obvious, to then make them make sense afterwards. Like again, the giant nail hanging at the back of that shopkeeper's thing. Sometimes you want to be very obvious and you want to be very like noticeable, and you want people to understand things straight away. that's kind of what we're doing in our case. Like, it's not a secret that this man owns a shop and makes this bug owns a shop and makes tools, essentially. So like, we are showing all our cards through our environment. But yeah, that's kind of what environmental storytelling is, essentially. I'll probably be asking to. Oh my god, so many comments. Oh. Okay. Okay, so this is TF responding to the comic book. Also, listen to TF about comic books. She's got some great ones. I've given her feedback on a couple of them. She's pretty good at this. When I saw Frozen for the first time, I could tell he was evil because he had a mutton chops, but people have big mutton chops. See, that could be very much an intentional aspect of the design that they added. It's all about breaking down the shapes and making it simple. Do studies and find a way to make it easy for yourself. Baby steps. Yes, exactly what Vin says. Also, a round of applause for Vin. They're babysitting me today. Very, very helpful for having them here. I'll probably be asking for critique in the Discord quite a bit. Yes, just plugging the Discord. I don't even need to do it anymore. You guys plug it in for me. I go to the Discord. We do critiques. We help people out. It's part of a big art community, and we have freebies. Today's you get some 3D models for doing environments as freebies. So heck yeah. Not all we all love art nerds seeking out ways to better themselves. Yes, Discord. Welcome, welcome everyone. We got new ones. Hey, Muniba, Mariam is small. Welcome, Muniba. I don't know how to pronounce half of these names, guys. But yeah, essentially, that's kind of what environmental storytelling is about. I got very caught up reading the chat there. I'm so bad at reading the chat consistently, guys. Um, I get on what I'm doing and what I'm saying, and I completely forget to do that. So yeah, I want to put a little bit of like a wooden backboard behind this this kind of like work area. Essentially, I'm gonna put a couple of tools. I think I'm gonna do like a hammer and a saw or something like that. Yeah, hammer and saw, just a pretty like makeshift hammer on saw over here, just to have it like, oh yeah, this is like the place where he makes his tools. So yeah, let's just put a little bit of a hammer and then a little bit of a saw. I don't know if we have like a lot of saw examples. I don't think we have a lot of tool examples in general from this game. Very few details about like the exacts of like the things that they use, but something like that, a little something like that. Maybe a little couple of rocks there to imply something was worked on, and then maybe add a little bit of tools here hanging in the background. So some measuring tools, maybe like some of those ruler type tools. Yeah, something like that. What are they made of is a good question. I have no idea. Bone, I guess. We're in the world of bones, so probably bone. There, that's the layer. Yeah, so probably bone. We got like one of these little like rulers over here with some like notches for measuring. Then maybe we could get like one of these like pallets or something for like not a chisel, but like the thing you use for like bricklaying, or maybe like, well, maybe more of like a screwdriver-y kind of thing. I don't think they have a lot of cogs down here. They will, I mean, sort of spoilers. There's like more high technology as you get further in the game, but like right now they just have like the bare minimum essentially. And yeah, and maybe some like, maybe we have some like, I don't know, another chisel, honestly. And I'm just gonna put this one laying on the back here. Simply laying onto the back rather than hanging. Yeah, just a chisel just hanging there. There we go. Just lay down. There we go. Amazing. So like this is starting to make it look very much like this is not just like a store, but also kind of a workshop where we're packing in these ideas and creating these like visual references that like as humans in the real world, where we see this kind of setup, we understand that there's work being done here essentially. Like this very much looks like stuff is being made. Things are being constructed in this kind of space, so it gives us that like very good idea of stuff happening. So I'm also gonna hang some stuff in. I'm gonna create some ropes here with hanging stuff, because I feel like cluttering this area up is also going to give it that sense of workshop. So I'm going to hang some stuff, create some knots, and put some like tools and materials hanging from here. I got some reference for materials from the game. You tend to use a lot of shards to make a lot of things and stuff like that. Let me catch up with the comments. What's the sigma? I have no idea what you mean, Armandor. Amandork, Amadork. Lol. Okay, just got that. Yeah, I have no idea what the sigma is. Turn up the volume on your mic compared to other videos. Yours is so quiet. Oh, is it really? Okay. Is everyone hearing me very quietly? I can certainly turn the volume up. Didn't know that was an issue. It says it's quite high on my end on the OBS. Is anyone else having this kind of problem? How long do you spend gathering reference for a project? Want to work on, like, how long did it take to get a reference for this exercise? For this exercise, it was like 15 minutes. I kind of went on Pinterest. I Googled up some, like, screenshots from the game. I went on Pinterest to get some, like, ideas for workshops. And then I spent 10 minutes just looking at some of the gorgeous things people have done fan art-wise in this game. It's completely useless for what I'm doing, but that was just fun. That was just for fun, essentially. But yeah, no, I just like, I think it was like 15 minutes really, like gathering references for this video specifically. You guys think I sound fine? Is Sketchbook good? I wouldn't recommend it. I'm using it because I'm very used to it. I think if you're starting off, like some of the software that we use a lot here in WinCanvas, like Krita, might be a lot better just for like when you're starting, essentially. So like, yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. I'm only using it because I'm a lot faster at it, just because I've been using it for years at this point. And on stream here, like, I kind of want to be efficient. Like we're like already an hour in, and I want to make sure like I can get something finished for today in the 2 hours that we have. So yeah, I wouldn't like 100% recommend it. Not really. It's an okay software. It's just it has a lot of limitations that other better software don't have, like Krita. Plus also you have to pay for it, so it's not really worth it. It's free for me because I got it back when it was free. There was like a specific thing where like you could upgrade to Sketchbook Pro, which like it was like a whole thing happened back in the day. I got it. Now it's all for free. Like it's no longer for free. It's like all like paid and stuff. I don't think it's good enough as paid software unless like you have no other option for like an iPad or something of that sort. I wouldn't recommend it now. It's just okay. Crit is way more powerful and has like way more options and stuff like that. Using Procreate now on my iPad, that one's a lot better as well. Like a little more. It's fairly basic. Like there's nothing wrong with Sketchbook, but I wouldn't, like, if you're just starting and you're deciding, hey, what I'm gonna use for like my digital art journey. No, I wouldn't recommend it. Says the guy using it. Yes. Should I keep a timer when I go reference looking? What should I probably be 15 minutes just into an hour? Yeah, Rachel, that's not a bad idea. Pinterest is quite dangerous. There's a lot of pretty pictures. Sometimes you get lost like I did today. Thankfully, I had like a bunch of time. Like I got set up for the stream an hour early. But yeah, no, definitely a timer is not a bad idea. I usually keep all my videos on certain volume. Had to turn yours 5 times. It sounds clear. It just may be difficult for others to keep up. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear, Faith. It seems like everyone else can hear me okay. I don't know. Maybe there's some issue with YouTube or something. I'm talking straight up against the mic right now. Like I have it right on my face, and it seems pretty loud on my end. So I'm not 100% sure. Thank you, but is it just me or Chris's stabilization is wonky and like, yeah, Chris is a bit wonky. It's just, it's nice as a free option. Yeah, CESP seems to have a way better stabilization. I don't tend to use stabilizing brush at all. I tried it on Procreate. I don't like it. I don't like the Chris one. I don't like it on Sketchbook. Yeah, I recommend for better stylization, you just you get better at line art. It's called line confidence. There's a couple of exercises you can do. I talk about this a lot because a lot of students ask about line art and things of that sort. Yeah, line confidence. Just try and get better at it. It's really not that hard. You just need to do a bunch of exercises that are like, yeah, they are a bit they are a bit objectively boring and dull, like filling a whole page with a bunch of like straight lines and things of that sort. Not the most fascinating thing to spend your time on, but yeah, no, definitely very useful. So yeah, I would recommend getting better at line confidence regardless. That's kind of why I use 100% opacity brush when I draw digitally. When I'm working on paper, I usually go with pencils rather than pens. I like being able to like undo my work and stuff, and I work up to a line and stuff. But when I'm working digitally, I kind of like the 100% opacity. It forces me to make more interesting lines and more interesting decisions. Speaking of, let's finally take care of this little lamp and make it a little nicer looking. Do I have some references for this? I do. I do have some references for the weird glass lamps. Yeah, so it's gonna be kind of like a little bit broken and stuff. We're gonna have the white little... Oh, they're kind of like... They have 4 wings instead of the 2 that the Luma flies had. Yeah, so they are different, these silk moth things. Cool. And then just gonna maybe have it like wrapped up in like string, essentially. Kind of like maritime buoys kind of thing. Yeah. So something like this. What exercise do I want to derail you, but I'm doing struggle badly with lines. So yeah, there's a couple of ones. Essentially, just real quick line confidence exercises. I've been asked this a lot, so like I know it's a very common thing. But you take a paper and you fill it with circles, and you try to make all the circles the exact same size, the exact same shape. That's a very good one, and you do that for an entire piece of paper. Then there's the squiggly line one, which essentially you start drawing a line and create some squiggles, and then you draw a line as close as possible, mimicking that without crossing them, without touching them, and you fill an entire piece of paper with these. That's another one. And then there's the straight line one, which essentially it's pretty boring, but you try to do straight lines on a page without touching, like either vertically, horizontally, or diagonally. Essentially, you're working out the muscles that you have in both your wrist and your forearm and your arm, because you depends the muscle you use depending on like the size that you're working with. But you just essentially do that. It's not very fun, but it really does help. Like doing a couple of these, like I don't know, once a week or something like that, is definitely going to create some sort of improvement. Yes, that's Vulcan X asking, right? Yes. Chris says, I do line exercises of just drawing straight lines using my shoulder and practice adjusting line thickness. Yeah, Rachel, that's a good one. Yes, it's boring, but I do it like 5-10 minutes every day, and I see a difference. Yeah, 100% Rachel. I hated doing it, but they made me do it in university, and it definitely helped. I recommend sketch what you want to draw quick and small. Don't go for big yet. Sounds interesting. Glad I found an exercise that works for you. I have pretty decent line confidence from doodling on notebooks in school for years. Yeah. Okay, I've done all these before. Gonzalo wants you to pretend you're tailing your jail cell. Got to go, class. Goodbye. Goodbye, the raging pansexual. Have a nice one. My character sketches come from very clean by accident now. Yeah. Exercising muscles. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. You're exercising your muscles. A lot of the time we abuse our poor little wrists, but you need to use your forearm and your arm as well when you're drawing. How long did it take for you to be a professional? Is this a stupid question? Not a stupid question. Wiggly? Wiggly? Wiggly. I'm going with Wiggly. I don't know how to pronounce this. Usernames are going to be the bane of my existence. So it took me a couple years. I've been working professionally in the like games industry for about 5 years now, kind of since I graduated university. I don't know what like The thing is, like, I still have like lots of things to improve on in my art journey. I don't know exactly what you mean by professional, because the definition of professional literally just means someone that gets paid for the work that they do. So like, I've been getting paid for my art like long before I finished university. I've been doing commissions for a couple years. I wouldn't call myself a professional back then, though. I was still learning, and I kind of still am learning. I guess I'm more of a professional now just because it's more like I've worked in actual, like, as it is my main profession being an artist, and right now as like an instructor and a teacher for like a couple years now. But yeah, it took me a while to get as good as I am. I've been drawing since I was a kid. It's just a lot of the times you improve faster when you know where to put your energy into. And in my case, it's been years of just like drawing stuff without knowing exactly what's going to help me improve. In my case, an art education really helped with that, but that's also because of the way that I like learning. I'm very bad at self-directed study, so having an environment where everyone was kind of like doing the same thing and going to a classroom every day where like you're forced to do live drawings and forced to partake on exercises really helps for me. Really always been bad at homework. I'm not going good at doing work after hours. So yeah, to do send Gonzalo as a professional. Thank you, Kevin. That's very nice of you. God damn. Oh my god. That was savage. Nightbot, where's the morning bot? Good question. I don't think we have a morning bot. We're listening to Gonzalo. Oh, lol. Thank you, guys. I know I talk a lot during these. Sorry. I've seen some of my fellow teachers like streams, and there's a lot more quiet. So sorry for that, guys. I don't know. I feel like a lot of pressure to kind of like be talking all the time and saying interesting things for you guys, because you're showing up, you're tuning up for this stream. I want to make it worth it, you know. So yeah. There you go, silence. I have a whole PNG tour guy for being quiet. I don't think you guys have seen it at all during this entire stream. Yeah. There you go. Pure silence. Wow. Wow, what bliss. See, that's what my PNG tuber guy looks like when I'm quiet. He's got a concentration face. Yeah. That is actively what I look like when I'm concentrating. I do this thing where I bite my tongue. My partner makes fun of it. She just comes up behind me and she's like, "Oh, what's that face you're doing?" Yeah. When I'm concentrating, I do this thing where I just like bite my tongue for some reason. Like, not like actually like hurt it and stuff. I just put it between my teeth. That's weird. I don't know. Maybe some of you do that too. Um, that was so unnatural. Yeah, it is scary, isn't it, Vin? Poor Vin. Their job is to just stick around and listen to me blab for hours. Uh, let's get some RIP Vince in chat. Okay, so I'm just cleaning up some of this, especially the ropes while I'm at it. Just for fun, really. Like, we're not really done, but I don't know. Just feel like cleaning up these ropes. Like a bit better. Like this. Gives a little bit of texture to the whole thing. But yeah, we could see like how like we're getting that vibe of like a shop that's also like a tool thing. I need to create something to put in these shelves. I'm not really sure what the heck I'm gonna put in these shelves. I also want to cord up some like, let me get some like bones or some like bone tools or stuff like hanging from this. So like, yeah, some like sharp bones and stuff. Something like this to just like hanging from these ropes on here, just to have something hanging there. Materials or stuff, there's again like a lot of bone stuff around. And now I'm gonna do a couple of Easter eggs, so potential spoilers, I guess. Yeah, a couple of Easter eggs for some tools essentially. Let's get this one in here. So they're gonna be drawing something like this. Oh, do I have references for the writing in these games? I don't have references for the writing. Ooh, 1 second. Let me get some references for the writing. Haha. Um, do RIVP. Guys, when you said IRP Vin, the first thing I read was VPN. Yeah, I don't think we have a VPN sponsor. That would have been a good segue. Sadly, no. Does everyone else read wrong or just me? Nah, I do the same. I'm unsure if I have any sort of level of dyslexia, honestly. It's a thing. I read things wrong a lot. Um, I'm gonna just go on here and Hollow Knight writing. I know they have this weird way of writing stuff, and I just want to see some references, because I don't want to have to make it up. Maybe Silk Song. Specifically, writing. Google is not being very helpful. I know for a fact there's some signs around with written stuff, but it's not showing up. Okay, zoom in here, maybe I can see these. I'm not gonna show them on screen because I don't want to spoil this, because some of this is like full-on spoilers. But yeah, something like this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw these things on like a separate layer. Yeah, I'm gonna draw these things on a separate layer so I can then like give them like the white thing that they have. But essentially they have this like kind of like weird writing thing that they do. It's all very weird shapes. There's some notes, like note-like things throughout, because I think music is a very big, I mean, it's called Silk Song, so like music is a very big kind of like deal for like the kind of like the game essentially. Gosh, brain farting really hard. Yes. Think you might be dyslexic, not in a rude way. Yeah, it happens. Missed the segue opportunity. I know, right, Vin? We should have gotten a VPN. A sponsorship. I'm so bored. My head was imagined or see what object, but I can't draw that object. I've only been learning digital drawing for 5 months. I mean, that makes sense, Nuonk. It's not easy to transition into digital drawing. It's a really hard thing. If I can find them before the end of the stream, I'll show you some of my first digital drawings, and you'll see how terrible they were. Will there be any monthly art challenge submissions? Oh, I don't know. I forgot to check actually. Yeah, maybe when we get to the end of the stream, I'll look at the monthly challenge submissions. Oh, I forgot to do that. Thank you for the reminder. Thank you so much, Call to the Hermits. Yeah. If you're lucky, maybe Gonzalo can feature some of the end of the stream. Yes, exactly. I'm gonna do that. Even if we go over time for it, I'm gonna showcase it, because I completely forgot about it. I should have prepped them, but I think I'm just gonna share my Discord screen and showcase some of those. But yeah, no, because we have the monthly challenge. What is the monthly challenge this month? I haven't been keeping up with those. I've been so busy with classes, I rarely check on the monthly challenge anymore. And because I haven't really had that many live streams, I've been kind of like out of the loop with the monthly challenges. What have they cooked up this month for us? They're really fun, by the way. If you ever wanna like go on that, let's do another. This is a perfect segue. Join our Discord. We have monthly challenges, and we showcase those during our streams when I remember to, because I'm a bit of a dum-dum that forgets about these things sometimes. Yes. We have wonderful monthly challenges over on our Discord, as well as feedback, as well as free stuff. We're giving away some free stuff today, so yes, join our Discord. It's freaking great. Stay tuned. Yes. 30-minute concepts. Yes, I remember that. Yes. Okay. Yeah. We're certainly showcasing these by the end of today. Yeah, sadly I didn't save them as PNGs. But at the end of the stream we'll make a Gonzalo does an improvised version of showcasing the monthly challenges. Because yeah, we have some fantastic ones. It's gonna be the most improv worst way of showcasing them. Normally we set it up in this beautiful presentation and stuff. Yeah, I'm doing the makeshift version of that because I'm a bit of a dum dum, but we're showing them. We're not sticking away from them for sure. Thank you for the reminder, Hermes. I forgot to say some people I hated when I say jokes about anything I say. I need to be serious, but I hate to take stuff seriously. It makes me unhappy, so I prefer to be goofy. Oh, yes, I do a lot of punctuation when I text, so I don't have to do that. Do you have any tips for drawing a character in an environment where the camera is more placed in the scene instead of zoomed out like this? Yes, of course. So, like I've mentioned a couple times, right now what I'm doing is more focused on the design. This is why we have this kind of like zoomed out idea. When like kind of like the goal here is sort of, oh, I did this wrong. 1 second. Whoop, bloop, bloop. I was using the wrong layer. Yeah, so like kind of the goal for this one is specifically to create this kind of vibe of an environment from this more like isometric godlike kind of point of view. Like I was mentioning earlier, when we're like showcasing, when we're drawing something from a specific frame, the rules of framing are very important. I think we have a couple of videos. Jesse did a couple of videos recently on framing, and composition essentially. But like, yeah, for example, let's say we want to place our little bug in here drawing on his table. We would then take into account more of this idea of making an interesting frame. First of all, there's the rule of thirds, very important. You want to put like your important things around in certain areas and stuff. But let's say we're just like drawing our little bug here. He's going to be looking down here onto the table with this little antenna, and he's going to be drawing, and he's going to be drafting on his desk. So we're going to want to create some depth. So what we do to create some depth is put some elements very close to the foreground and then put some elements in the background. So let's say we're going to have these sacks and these urns that we have here. I said urn again. These pots in here for like our background elements, and then we're going to use like, for example, this shelf that we have here, where we haven't put stuff on, but let's say we've put stuff on it, as this kind of like foreground element. We can also use there's like this post here, essentially, you guys can't see it, but we've decided there's going to be like this big bone post over here, so like that can be very much a thing that we have here in the very foreground to kind of like frame our little character, and even have like this bit of the table where he's going to be selling certain things here very much at the foreground. And now we've framed our little character. We can have our little bit of light over here and the little panels in the background, and you've seen that I've turned this like more out of frame scene into something that has a lot more depth and a lot more kind of thing. I really like putting background like foreground objects to frame things. There's this technique called a frame within a frame. Essentially, like you're putting a frame and saying, hey, look over here. So yeah, very, very fun. But yeah, you see how we just like took this whole idea and created a little like thumbnail of our scene. Whenever doing anything like this, thumbnails are very, very, very important. Do stuff like this. Work really tiny, work really quick. So then like if you don't like it, you could just trash it and try again. Hope that answers that question. But yes, everyone recently made a concept passion equally how it would scale in this environment to the actual character. Would you shrink the character or make them bigger? That's another good question, Call to the Hermits. So when it comes to environments, right now I'm taking into account, I'm not showing it because I'm thinking about it, but I know what the size of my character is. My character essentially is like this big. So I'm making everything to scale to that. A very important thing about scale is that you want to make sure that things that are, in this case bug, but let's say human scaled, are human scaled in your example. Windows, doors, tables, chairs, you want to make sure that those keep a consistency of scale. So whether you're scaling your character up or down, as long as you keep that consistency of scale with things between your character and those recognizable elements like chairs, if you're going smaller like a cup or a plate or a pencil, things of that sort that make you think, hey, how big would a human be in comparison to this recognizable object? Those then the scale you get no issue with it essentially. Oh my god, so many comments. So bad at keeping up with these. So I guess you're upside because it's really been blah blah blah. Enjoying the stream. Okay, so like to design the zoomed out before the zoomed in, that's good. Yes, so Cupcake, that's kind of like what I'm doing here. You don't necessarily have to, but to me it's a lot easier. I like understanding a space before I like start like putting cameras in that space. Essentially, I call them cameras because I come from like the whole like animation industry. But yeah, like before you put like your framing within that space, I very much like having the like an understanding of that space first. So for me it's very helpful, but you can do it without it. And you can then manipulate your like layout of that space to fit your framing more or less. Like that's perfectly fine. But like I personally like having a little bit of this kind of like, if not like rougher version of this. Like I'm making this a bit prettier just because we're on stream today, so we gotta make things a little bit prettier. But yeah, essentially like that's kind of what I would do. Like that's kind of what I would go for. It's essentially making this kind of like idea of, hey, we're like first planning it out and then like putting different cameras on it. A thing I do as well when I'm doing storyboards, and because like this is more for concept art, but like when I'm doing storyboards I do like an architectural top down view of like a spot. Like for example here, it would be something like this. Like that's the tent part, there's a little thing here, a little thing over there, there's the wall, the one table, the other table, the stuff, the big shelf, the rug. You would do like kind of like an architectural top-down view of this whole thing, essentially. Yeah, that's something you could do as well. Very useful for like any kind of exercise, but when you're working with an imaginary space, it just helps to kind of understand your space. Because yeah, it's imaginary. Like this doesn't exist. We're making it up in our heads as we go. So we might as well try our best to create something so we can reference it, essentially. And that's kind of what this kind of like environmental thing is. Yeah. For those who are just tuning in, we talked about environmental storytelling before and things of that sort. Gotcha. Peace out. This stretch, my legs and had a blast. We'll look out for this monthly challenge and we'll see if I can do future Monday streams. Heck yeah. Also, what kind of bug would live here? Yes, so I'm thinking one of the little what they're called. They're not hermits. What are they called? The little, oh gosh, pilgrims. Gosh darn it, that was a tough word for my brain for a second there. I'm thinking one of the pilgrim bugs, because this is like a pilgrim community of like people that move on and stuff like that. I'm thinking one of those pilgrim bugs essentially decided that, hey, I actually like it here, I'm gonna break my pilgrimage and just stay here and sell things. So yeah, I'm thinking probably one of the pilgrim bugs. Maybe they have like a family of bugs that have spent a lot of time here just around. But yeah, just filling in these shelves a little bit. Maybe put some more. I'm gonna maybe put some more stuff here at the bottom, and then we can finish off with the counter. So let me put some more like of these sacks with like the wrappings at the bottom, because again it's their kind of like version, like this town's version of a crate essentially, these wrapped up sacks with indeterminate goods inside. So yeah, so I'm just creating one of these. It's gonna be mostly covered up, so something like that essentially. But yeah, something of this sort. I think this is already giving this idea of tool, but now we need that idea of shop. So what we're going to do for that is we're going to focus on this part here where we want to have like a little bit of a table of goods essentially, and we're going to pick like a couple of things that they might be selling. To have a question: do normal people think a lot like people with ADHD or not? Because people that I talk to say that I think a lot. I don't know, actually. I might have ADHD as well, so I'm really not sure whether people think a lot or not. No one but you is thinking about you. But yeah, no, I'm not 100% sure how much thinking is really the normal amount of thinking. I don't know. I guess we all think about stuffs, even when your brain is kind of like floating around in the ether. You might all be thinking about stuff. So yeah, I think I'm gonna put like the little counter here. So let me just lower the opacity of all this stuff. I'm gonna set you to white so I don't forget to do that with the writing and stuff. I'll do some more writing on the walls as well later. Not very important for right now. I just want to focus on the counter because yeah, we're getting there on time, and I want to make sure that we finish at least the look of shop, because we've added the workshop. We've definitely gone for the workshop, but I want to definitely highlight the idea of a shop. So I think what I'm going to do is going to like make this like a little bit of a showcase kind of area. So I'm definitely going to use some sort of wooden something here as like a cleaner version of showing things. Then we're going to use our little idea of like rags, of having like little cloth to kind of like serve as a way to display these items in a nicer kind of like way, and also to divide them into three. I think I'm thinking of this as like almost a game interface where, like, you know how in like Breath of the Wild you can just come up to a shop and click on the things they have on display to buy them, kind of like that. This kind of idea of like both like storytelling and like utilitarian essentially. So I'm going to use like three different colors of cloth, three different types of cloth to kind of divide these a little bit, so you can see like that there's like three major things that they're selling essentially. So there's going to be like three pieces of cloth like overlaid on each other, and then I'm going to just like split up this wood into two to again go with that very like poorly made kind of feel that this whole town has to have. I'm trying not to say ramshackled again. I feel like I've killed that word today, the amount of times I've said it. But yeah, something like this. A Nightbot only sends automated responses. Sorry. Can we name the bug who lives in the here, Bert or Jude? Okay. Kevin, do you know how to do a poll? I don't know how to do a poll. Or Vin or Kevin, could you do a poll? Let's go for Bert or Jude for the name of the little bug that sells you things. I like those names. Cult of the Hermits, it's a good name. So we're using either Bert or Jude. Let's see which ones wins, and we could do a little poll and make it either Jude's or Bert's as the name of the store. So something like this for the thing, and then I think a pile of like shards, rocks, bones kind of thing as like the thing under it. Again, pretty chaotic. I'm gonna go for like an overall shape of this, but like make it a bit more like constructed and chaotic than like the workshop. They kind of like this workshop table is, where it's like one big slab. This is gonna be like more of a, just to differentiate them, like more of like a mix of things. Also, I'm gonna elongate this cloth a little bit, maybe have it touching the ground. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Bert or Jude. It could be or. It could be or. We could have or be the name. Amazing. Okay. Let's see what we get there, guys. Bert or Jude. Breath of the Wild mentioned in 2026. Yes, Breath of the Wild mentioned 2026. I really like Breath of the Wild. I've gone back to it, and it feels a little weird to play after Tears of the Kingdom, but I still think it's an overall better game. I'm not going to get into a rant because I don't hate Tears of the Kingdom. I don't think it's awful, but I do think it's a worse game than Breath of the Wild is. Yeah, love me Breath of the Wild. It's a fantastic game. Weirdly enough, I think it's because it has less content, and that somehow makes it feel better. It's just a more empty world with like more little moments for yourself. I don't know. I'm not going back to Tears of the Kingdom, but I find myself going back to Breath of the Wild, despite the mechanics feeling a bit more clunky compared to Tears of the Kingdoms. Because it did like a lot of like, you know, life betterment improvements kind of thing. yeah. Anyways, not what. Don't want to start a war with my Tears of the Kingdom takes. Uh, but yeah, I think it's objectively a worse game than Breath of the Wild. I love me Breath of the Wild. Do, 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 do. Again, as a whole, not like individually. It does fix a lot of the problems Breath of the Wild had that weren't really problems, but then it fixes things that didn't need fixing, and by fixing them breaks the game, like durability. Oh my god, I really hate durability in Tears of the Kingdom. Why does everything last so long? Sorry, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna upset someone by talking about Tears of the Kingdom in a bad manner. Same dude, same paid it. Played it first time a few months ago. Don't have hate me for being late. No worries. I was super late to Tears of the Kingdom, to be fair. I was super hyped for it, but then I was really late for it. I just want to say how you did it. Invalidates its own mechanic. Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom also validates its own mechanic like horses. Yeah. God, I like roaming around in a horse in Breath of the Wild. It's so nice and relaxing. I was never able to finish Tears of the Kingdom, but Breath of the Wild I've played easily 3 times over. Yeah, exact same experience, Vin. Generally. Like in Breath of the Wild, your horse, which are useful, or getting around faster into, you can just be like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, cars are boring. Horses are cool. Agreed. Okay, well, I'm glad my take is not as hot as I thought it was. I thought I was gonna get absolutely roasted by you guys. It turns out a bunch of you agree with me. Yeah, I don't know. I just Tears of the Kingdom hits different, and it doesn't hit good. There's too many options to interact with too little. I feel like the mechanics are better, and you have like a lot of really cool mechanics, like the merging and the building and stuff, but there's pretty much nothing to do with them. So like it feels like you turned off on creative mode on your Minecraft world. Um, and as someone who loves building in creative, it absolutely ruins survival. So I don't know. That's kind of the best way I know how to express that. Yeah. Not a game channel, we're an art channel, but yeah, I have a lot of issues with Tears of the Kingdom. Also, I really don't like what they did with the world's story. Like, it feels like Breath of the Wild just didn't happen. Like, there's 5 like characters that I can think of that are there from that we saw in the previous game, and then like I don't know. It feels like a weird game. Feels like coming back to like your school after years and then realizing how shitty it was, even though you thought it was really great. That's kind of what Tears of the Kingdom felt like for me. Not that I've ever actually experienced that with my own school, but you know what I mean. It's the best analogy I can come up with. Blip. What about cars fused with horses? Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't want to spoil anything. Marco Artista. I'm not going to talk about any major plot points of anything. Just, I haven't even finished the game, honestly. I totally watched Gonzalo do a playthrough of Breath of the Wild. Oh my god, I would love to do a playthrough of Breath of the Wild, and that would be amazing. Yeah, that would be really cool. Oh, we could do an art playthrough. That would be fun. Doing like a playthrough where like every time you get something done, then you like, you know how I don't know if you guys know this, but Jessie, when she plays D&D, she spends the whole time doodling about like the characters and their interactions and stuff. I think something like that with a game would be very fun, where we're playing through the game, but then we're also creating like little pieces of art to remember the memories that we've made through the playthrough and the game and stuff. I think that would be pretty fun. I definitely love to do that. Don't know if Wing Canvas is the place to do it, but yeah, that would be awesome. Me and Gonzalo are gonna pitch this later. Yes, Vin, we're definitely going in with this. I mean, if it works, we're friggin' doing this. That would be so good. Oh dang, I'd say it's worth it since there's lots of options. You don't have to do everything in one way. Yeah, I mean that's the thing I really like. I really like having options. I just feel like for some reason the world of Tears of the Kingdom doesn't feel like it has enough challenges for me to think up options other than like movement. I don't know. It's just, and I like the depths, for example, when I first found them, but then it's just like I'm not gonna keep talking because maybe I'm spoiling things. I'm gonna shut up now because I don't want to spoil things for Mac Artista. But yeah, Breath of the Wild playthrough sounds amazing, and I get to draw all the cute little NPCs and wonderful little characters as we go along. That sounds like an absolute dream, actually. Uh, if Fate doesn't let us do it, I'm gonna have to start my own Twitch and just stream Breath of the Wild. Don't even know how to stream for my Switch. I'll have to buy some like cables and stuff to connect them and things. But yeah, I'll definitely do it. That's a fantastic idea. Okay, so we kind of have this whole kind of area done. Let's put a couple of tools, and I'm going to try put some early tools that you find. I don't want to spoil too much of the game, so like let me get like a really early tool or something like that. Or yeah, like just know that the tools aren't found in this town. Maybe I don't even I just draw it and I don't tell you what it does and it's fine. I think that should be okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a cockfly because I freaking love the cockflies. They don't fit in this town like in the slightest, but I really like the cockflies. So I'm gonna draw a little cockfly in here. And then and yeah, minor spoilers again. There's a cockfly. It's a thing. You don't have to know anything about it. It's a thing that exists in this game. No spoilers. Yeah, don't tell you where you get it, what it's used for, but it's a thing. They're very cute, and I like them a lot. So, a cockfly. There we go. So that's one of the things that you can buy from this guy. Is a little cockfly. Yeah. Maybe he found a broken one, I think. Yeah, maybe we make like a broken one or something. But yeah, so a little cockfly, maybe some... a thing you get early game a lot, that you need a lot, is like the rosaries on a string. Very useful because when you die you lose all your rosaries, but if you string them up, then you can preserve them for like a lot longer. So let's do some rosaries on a string. Yeah, something like this. I don't remember what the actual patterns of the rosaries are, like the big ones, but something like this. Let's do some rosaries on a string. Because sometimes you buy like rosaries on a string early game to just like have them not disappear every time you die. Because rosaries are a bit of a pain to get, especially at the beginning, because there's only a few areas where you can get them. It's the currency of the game, essentially. So maybe we should also like put some like rosary beads inside the workshop, actually. Yeah. Let's have some rosaries over here, because this is like the bank account of this guy, essentially. Like all his money. Yeah. It's just like tied up. You know when they say you got all your money tied up in stocks? Well, this guy has it all tied up in groceries. Such a terrible joke. Yes. Anyways, we're hyping up a future stream where we just play an entire playthrough of Breath of the Wild and then draw about it. Yeah, that would be very fun, actually. I really don't know if it fits at all with the kind of like more teaching stuff that we do here, but Vind, you got me excited now. Oh dang, I'd say it's worth it since there's lots of options, blah blah blah, we've read that one. That sounds like a great idea. Yeah, Vulcan likes this. Username generators, head to the yeah. Also, what's the result of the voting? Who won? What's gonna be the name of our little bug? We're making this happen. Looks like the pops are saying Jude. Okay, so Jude. Jude's gonna be the name of our little bug. So this is Jude's place. Jude's little shop. I think they're gonna sell yes, Jude's just gonna sell a pack of shards as well. I feel like that's also an early game thing that you kind of need a little bit. Although you kind of don't need them as much early game, because shards, if you don't know, it's a new mechanic. Like most creatures drop shards, and only like sentient or formerly sentient like life forms drop the little rosary beads, essentially. But shards are like a thing that you use to repair your tools so you can reuse them and stuff. So it's kind of like a currency, but not really, because like it's more like a functional thing. So once you get tools, you kind of want to use shards to just like be able to actually use your tools because they run out. You know, you have a limited amount of tools. It's just so you don't like destroy the game absolutely, like destroy every single boss on the first round kind of thing. So yeah, maybe this is like a broken kind of like cockfly. Let's put like a wing half open like this maybe. So it's kind of like stuck maybe a little bit. Yeah. So it's kind of broken down, cockfly. It's missing an eye. Let's put maybe a scratch through it. Just kind of scratch through the eye or something. Maybe like they found one that like fell down from the citadel or something. And it's kind of like broken down. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that seems pretty cool. So yeah, so like you can see now how we've managed to turn this into like a pretty like cool workshop. So we're going to we're going to actually draw this one pillar. This one kind of like big bone thing sticking out of the ground. This is going to be your pillar. And we're going to draw this because we're going to put a little sign that says Jude's. Because this is Jude's little shop. Because you guys voted for it, and we're going with Jude. I don't know if Jude is a he, a she, or a they, but they live here, so we can vote on Jude's gender as well. Are we doing let's do a thing on Jude's gender. Let's figure out who the heck Jude is and what their gender is. Why the heck not? Let's do a poll on Jude's gender. Well, we've got time because we got 10 minutes to go. So let's figure out in the last 10 minutes who the heck Jude is and what their gender is. So yeah, once the stream finishes, because I think I'm having a lot of fun with this one. I think I'm gonna spend some time and do like a little basic coloring for this. Just color it in a bit, like just a little bit. Because I'm kind of having a wonderful time here. So yeah, I really like Hollow Knight. So I think I'm gonna color it in just so we can see what it would look like with like more of the mood of the situation and stuff. But yeah, this is essentially like Jude's shop. Welcome to Jude's. What would you like? Jude has tools and materials, sells a little bit of everything. And he will fix up your stuff if it's broken, because Jude is a little fixer upper. We also need a name for Jude's grandma. So yeah, we need to figure that out. Jude's joint. Ooh. Jude's joint is very good. Call to the Hermits. Yeah, Jude's joint, I think, for sure. Okay, so before we finish, I do want to show you guys a little bit of what the wonderful world of the Discord community is up to, and what our commission, like what the monthly submissions is gonna look like. So let's make the sign. Let's make little Jude's joint, and then we can move on to like showcasing that. But yeah, I hope you guys had fun with this one. I know it was a bit crazy and chaotic. Let's have, actually, I'm gonna make it like a shard of like a skull tyrant. Don't want to explain what this is or what happens with them or anything, because again, I don't want to spoil the game, but just know it's like it's a shard that fits the world. So Jude's joint, he's gonna move in, or she's gonna move in, or they're gonna move in. Again, have no idea what the gender of Jude is. Is Jude a gendered name? I don't know. There is a Jude Law that's a guy, right? And there's the Beatles song, Hey Jude. I don't know what the gender of Jude in that song is. But that's the entirety of my exposure to the name Jude. I'm not I'm not a native English speaker, so a lot of times with English names, I get a little confused. So let me know if Jude is gendered, and I'm just being a little bit of a dum dum. But yeah. Oh no, I closed my chat. 1 second, guys. I accidentally clicked to close my chat. Docs. Chat. There we go. Got you guys open again. Amazing. Close. Oh, fantastic. Let's see what happens with Jude. Jude or Judy could work. Yeah. Okay, so Jude is, well, I feel like, I don't know, Jude sounds pretty gender neutral to me. Maybe I'm like crazy here. I don't know. Jude sounds very gender neutral. Maybe Jude. I mean, in the bug world, I guess it could be anything. But this is Jude's joint, and this is going to be the sign up for Jude's joint. We're going to put some rope around it. It's like half of a skull. Don't ask. Did Jude fight this giant beast? Did someone else? I don't know. If you've played the game, you might know. See, environmental storytelling is good for asking questions sometimes. It creates little quandaries. But this is Jude's joint. And we're going to do 2 versions of the sign. Now we have 5 minutes left, but don't worry, I'm staying overtime just a little bit to showcase all the wonderful drawings that the community has done over on the Discord. Yeah. But yeah, no, don't worry about it. Definitely, I'm not forgetting it. We're 100% doing the wonderful, wonderful submissions that you all have made for this month. Cause yeah, it's such a fun thing to like see your art be showcased. It's always amazing. I need to start joining you guys for that and like actually posting some drawings on the Discord for these challenges. They're so good. I'm just running out of time a lot of the time now. Got so much to do, so many classes, so many things. Hey. Okay, so much feedback to give to you guys. Yeah, so this is like the skull, like the half of a skull, and we're gonna put Jude's joint in here. I think we're gonna do 2 versions. We're gonna do the legible version, which is going to be in English and like actual like Arabic, Greek kind of like the Greek spelling essentially. Jude's joint. Yeah, so we got Jude's joint. Fantastic, amazing. And now we're also going to do the version with the weird script from the game, essentially. I think I'm going to try and hide a J in there. But yeah, so I hope you guys are enjoying this. Let's do Jude's joint and jukebox jamboree. Oh my god. Well, now I wish he's that they solved like little records. How's that poll doing, Vin? What have we settled on the gender of Jude being? Have we settled on a gender for Jude? So I'm gonna do a little bit of this weird script. A little bit, like a lot of it is so weird. But let's try and hide a J within that script. So let's do this, a little circle. We're hiding a J in there. Then this, a little note. There's so many notes written on the thing. And then maybe, what else do they have? They have such weird writing. Kind of like all goes around whatever they're writing on. So like it's a bit weird, but there we go. Something like this. And then we have the J for Jude's. Yeah, something like this I think works. Jude's joint. There we go. Jude's joint and jukebox jamboree. Welcome to Jude's. So yeah, let me take this away and lighten up the background a little bit so you guys can see. Oh, that felt like a flashbang. You can see our wonderful little Jude's joint. So yeah, this is kind of what we came up with today. I hope you guys like it. I think it's pretty cool. I would then obviously like color out like the edges of the of the walls and the floor and stuff. We have this little bit of cloth that would be covering most of this section and stuff. So like if this was like a concept art, I would do several versions, one with like the whole of the outside and only what you can see from like the outside, and then ones without like the cloth and the roof and stuff, just to highlight the interior so like people can see them. But yeah, this is Jude's place, guys. I hope you like Jude's place. Do you feel more confident building narrative scenes? Ooh, very good question, Vin. Yeah. let's see. Okay, let me look at the comments, see if Jude is a what their gender is. It's split between she and they. Ooh, she, they. Well, then you go. She, they. Jude is she, they. Jude's jukebox and Jude's joint and jukebox jamboree. I can't. My tongue's gonna twist to that one. Yeah. Oh, Falcon, thank you very much. I'm really glad you found us today too. People have spoken and they say she, they. Well, she, they for Jude. Jude's grandma, they're gone now. They were in one of these pots. Your chance is figuring out which one is filled with grandma, which one just has a bunch of moss. I don't even know what Jude looks like, and they're already a lovely little creature. Yeah, well, this is Jude's grandma, so we can think that maybe they have some things in common with their grandma. But yeah, that's what the grandma looks like. So maybe Jude, she looks something like her grandma. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe she's wearing her grandma's scarf, and they just carry that around throughout as like a symbol of the grandma's love. Grandma Patch. Oh my God, yes. Cult of the Hermits is on fire today with the names. Just big shout out to them. Yes, Grandma Patch. Patch is 100% the name of the grandma. Yes. I need a chat when I'm drawing to come up with names for me. I am so terrible at naming my own freaking characters. But yeah, you love this so much. I'm so happy, Jess. Thank you so much. Okay, so before we leave today, because it is time, we should have ended. This is fine, but I am going to hop on to our wonderful Wing Canvas server, and I'm going to go down to where is my thingy here? Hello, sir. Gosh, I'm so bad at finding things here. The art challenges. There we go. Art challenges. Okay, let's see what people have done this month. Full screen. And then I'm gonna generally just, this is the worst presentation ever, but I'm just gonna scroll this in here and you guys are just gonna see my Discord for a little bit, because I want to share what stuff is happening. Actually, the cover photo is one of mine from one of my classes. Amazing. Okay, so let's see what we got. Oh my God, quintessential. Spend more than 30 minutes on this, but you get the idea, lol. This is great. Oh my God, this is very cool. Isometric, looks kind of like a video game level. I freaking love this building. That's amazing. Good use of what we called, we talked about this earlier, like the having the doors like help with like scale and size. It's very important in things like this. Yeah, you can see like how much stuff happens here. It's so amazing. Tricks made these. Oh my God, this is kind of like a comic even. Oh my God, 30 minutes. You guys are insanely quick at this. This is amazing. Thank you, Tricks. I don't know if they're on stream right now, but shout out to Tricks. Then let's see what Squares did. Oh, I think we even have a speed draw. Wow. Oh, very cool character. I like her. This is very awesome. Okay, I think this is a speed paint actually. Yeah, we even get a speed paint. Oh, damn. Proving that we actually did 30 minutes. This is one of the things I'm really loving about Procreate. Every time I draw, I get a little speed paint of it. But yeah, you guys can see this kind of idea. I love the glasses. I think they really add to the characterization. You're getting like very sassy kind of like vibes from her. Yeah, Spark submission. Oh my God, very, very cool. Very dramatic. I kind of love the expression of pure dread. This is me when someone asks me to get out of bed in the morning. Okay, amazing. This is my submission. It's LARP's character. Tanivas, the name of the piece is Crushing Weight. Oh, yeah. They're getting crushed alive by some rocks. Well, you know, sometimes. Here's another one, squares, 30 minutes. This is adorable. Oh my god. Ah, this looks like that one character from Undertale. You guys know what I'm talking about? I think you guys know who I'm talking about. I'm not 100% sure. But it reminds me of that one character from Undertale. I forgot to import it here, so sorry for the spam. Assumed it was simply just to doodle one thing, but I don't know. It's amazing. It's awesome. And another one where we get a speed paint. This is the fun thing about using Procreate. The speed paint, it's so fun. Here's what I'm able to do in 30 minutes. Silver Moon, a silver. Man, amazing. Just like the whole, yeah. 30 minutes isn't a lot of time, guys. Like, Silver here got like the wireframe, essentially. It's just a very good way of like starting to break down your characters into like polygons with the wireframes and stuff. And they were using reference. Reference is always very, very useful. Tricks challenged themselves to design a conflict outfit for one of their characters in 30 minutes. 30 minutes is a very good challenge, especially for things like thumbnails. Like, I don't think I could do this in 30 minutes, you guys, so it took me 2 whole hours, but I could certainly lay out what I wanted in 30 minutes and kind of like give a rundown. So like it's very good for things like thumbnails and things like that. So Toriel, thank you. Toriel, that's the name I was thinking about. Thank you, Mirror Cows. Thank you so much. Yes, Toriel and Call to the Hermits, thank you. We need to see cowboy, my cowboy pop up. Ooh, Jess. Okay, so rain we have here. Amazing. Ooh, is this an OC? This looks very cool. She, they. Hey, another she, they, like our little bug. Amazing. Oh, this is really cool. Oh, this is making me miss painting traditionally with markers. Look at that. That is so cool. Amazing. You guys are so freaking talented. To take it back to practice the beginning of the world building. Ooh, I think we have an environment here. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Heck yeah. Amazing. Wow, this is a lot in 30 minutes. They got one character already, another character. Then a whole environment with perspective and stuff. 1 point perspective. Very, very cool. This is awesome. Good job. Joysu Pepang. Okay, amazing. Okay, Tricks. Another one, Tricks. Tricks is just killing it this month. They just have like 5 or 6 30-minute drawings. With challenges like this, with require less time, you can get a lot done. Look at Trix's. This is awesome. Look at that. I really like this pose. I think they're like casting fire or something like that below them and jumping. Very, very fun. Very cool. Goggles also very fun. Okay, Vesper. Oh, 30 minutes, see where it came out. Cute little fox. Oh my god. Oh, this is adorable. It's a cute little fox looking at a moon with some like hanging stuff. That's so also very gorgeous, like shading with a pencil. This is what I mean. Like I use like pencils like this a lot when I'm drawing traditionally, but when I'm drawing digitally, I want like a hard line. I don't know why. Just different styles for different mediums, I guess. Roughly 30 minutes, did some monster concept art. I've been reworking Cozy. Whoa, this is very cool. Very lanky, kind of like rat-like humanoid with the skin quite gnarly, the torn skin and stuff. And we have another speed paint here. I like having like the detail of the face, but then like the whole body. And having the human next to it is very good for like showing the kind of like proportions that you're working with. Very, very cool stuff. Like, yeah, you can see here, like, very, very cool. Amazing. Very good for concept. You can see Shield is all over here. I love him. Big round of applause for Shield for being amazing. Mr. Rex Fox, 30 minutes to do both. To be honest, with spending of the sketch process, I'm going to have to do some serious rendering on this one. Ooh. Ooh, another environment. Guys, we're like on environment. Ooh, and the fish. That's very fun. That's very cool. You guys are killing it. Ooh, and some turtles. Amazing. This is M ... The red bits, note to myself, possible ideas, stained glass, blah blah blah. 30 minutes for each one. Amazing. Ooh, I kind of love this one. This one makes me happy with like the swirls. Stained glass designs. Wow. Never thought of doing that. Some more conceptual design. Another Tricks one with some more costumes and some more ideas. Wow, Tricks is just like going absolutely nuts with the 30-minute ones. Kale Amity. Calamity? Calamity. I think this spells calamity. You guys are gonna kill me with these usernames. I'm gonna get like a heart attack. I feel like a Victorian child trying a Twinkie for the first time. This is stunning. This is very beautiful. I love like the sketch with the pens and like how they got like the cross hatch shading and stuff. Like a very beautiful shed with a bike and a wheel. Very, very nice. This is really good. Calamity, good job. Let's see what the comments are saying. This month is mine. I love this snoot. Such a cool design. We appreciate our in the house deity. Oh my god, this is amazing. You guys are killing it. There's so many. I don't know if, well, it's fine. I'll stay as long as it takes, honestly. Heartless Hadash Hess. Heartless Hadassa. Hadassa? Hadasha. I don't know how this is pronounced in English. Hadassa Hess. And we have outfit designs. I probably count colors are my favorite part. Ooh, these are very nice sketches. A lot of motion, a lot of nice texture to them. Very quick, they're very nice. And then you have like the study. Oh, they're probably like redrawing one of their like old OCs. I do that a lot, like find some old drawings of mine and redraw them. You can see all like the different poses and like outfit designs and studies. And you have this one. Ooh, very cool. Very nice. It's very regal. It's reminding me a lot of like the Little Prince book with like this kind of like ornateness and star kind of like thing. Very, very nice. And you can see some of like the color studies here, and like that is amazing. Very cool stuff. Gosh darn. Heartless, you did a fantastic job. Okay, World Builder J. 30 minutes was enough to get some excitement, but I did the challenge. Here's my entry. Ooh, we can see. See, this is the thing. Like 30 minutes, it can be more or less depending on what you're doing exactly. But here we have like a whole layout of 4 different panels of what seems like a comic book with some action scenes, even some dialogue. Like it might be rough, but like for 30 minutes, that's fantastic. World Builder J. Congrats on that. Amazing stuff. Angry Guy for still little designs. Ooh, wow, 4 30-minute ones, and we have drawers for these ones. Oh, that's creepy. This is a creepy one. Ooh, this is like a thing of nightmares over here. Really cool design. This one's more fun. This one's more of a happy kind of thing. I think we only have the speed draws, so I'm gonna have to like keep it here so we can actually see it. That one's fantastic. Very cool design. This is like a whole cityscape, is it? Ooh, with like robots in their apartments and stuff, and the moon. I'm turning my head sideways right now to look at these. If I sound weird. Oh, this one's cool too. Like some weird. Oh, it's like a lizard creature that like pretends to be human, but then it eats you. It's creepy. Very, very cool. Very cool stuff. Pop art. I don't know if this counts, but I did this on my exam paper. Oh, it's Pop-Tart. I can't read. Yeah, Pop-Tart. This is 90% of my schooling experience. This actually, yeah, this gives me a lot of nostalgia right now. Sibera, designing a character or something. Her design is still a work in progress though, but I hope my process getting to this point is interesting enough. Heck yeah. Okay. Sipora. I don't know how to pronounce that, but this is gorgeous. She's a mermaid, I'm guessing. Ooh, that is really cool. Ooh, I like how she turns into like from like the more like human looking one to the more fish looking one. This is very cool. Very cool design. Very flowy. I love how like the hair also works with like the idea of the silhouette. But this is a really cool design. I really like these. These are fantastic. Amazing. Love these. Very good job, Sephora. Okay, so Den has a couple of these here. Haven't drawn a bit. Basically, I had a small idea where this girl can control an animal's hand. They're evil spirits wandering the woods. Oh, so it's like almost like oh, there was that one movie with Hugh Jackman where he could like control a robot and boxed with him. That's what this is making me think of for some reason. This is really cool. Love this sketch as well. Like the sketch of the lady has like a lot of motion, a lot of power. Very awesome. Also like the evil spirits in the forest with like the lights. Oh, very, very cool. This is like super quick and stuff and super simple, but like it does tell a story. I really like that. That is amazing. Good job then. Snarv BR. I don't know. Guys, I'm bad at the names. I'm so sorry. Science notebooks are filled with drawings, Jess. Yeah, valid, very valid. Meanwhile, I spent 30 minutes getting lost on Pinterest. Good shape language, yes, 100%. So cool, love this one. Thank you guys for the comments. I'm It's kind of like the Discord is kind of covering. Oh my god, we whole of oh my god, that's a whole ass animation. Oh, Josh is gonna love this. It's so cool. It's like the helmet jumps and then a whole human rolls out of the helmet, does a pose and comes back in. This is awesome. Oh my god, Castle, good job. Gosh darn, you can see the whole process here. Ooh, Equine Empress Jess. Equine Empress Jess has done a gorgeous cowboy. Whoa, this is so nice. It has so much motion. The cowboy just jumping on the horseback. This is very lovely. Very, very nice sketch. Traditionally made, it seems like with graphite from the shine of it. This is gorgeous. This is very cool. I really like the kind of like motion it has. I don't know if this is supposed to be a bush or just like the motion blur of the whole thing, but it really gives it like a forward momentum to it. This is great. You guys are freaking killing this thing. I don't know if we've ever had these many submissions. This is amazing. Ooh, Chillflame, Weaver of the Realm. Yeah, Chillflame has some gorgeous stuff. We've seen a lot of Chillflame. This is their character. I mean, look at that shading, guys. Look at that shading. This is great. So we have the cross hatching first with like the pencily thing, and then like underneath with the more like watercolory kind of like brush, we got the shading. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Look at that power behind those eyes. Very anime, very, very badass, very, very cool. Love this. And then we get like a whole speed drawing of it. See, you have like all that cross hatching. That's wonderful. And then like a pass with like the more watercolory thing to like add more shadows and like highlight all the dark areas and stuff. Very, very awesome. It is amazing. Chill Flame Weaver of Realms. Yeah, never surprised with the amazingness that they come up with. Just some poses I made from one of my character designs. I added the character sheet for comparison purpose. Oh, amazing. T dot dot dot. Yeah, amazing stuff. So we have the character sheet right here. So we have like a little bit of that turnaround. We have some expressions and some poses. So we kind of get like a vibe of what the character looks like and what they're like. And then we have a bunch of poses for them. This is very cool. I love the Crocs. For some reason, that's the thing that called to my attention the most. Look at them Crocs. That's great. Oh my god, you guys are so freaking talented. Candy Silver, working in concept sketch for my video game. Ooh, fancy. Oh, this is cool. So we have like a whole environmental piece with several characters. Wow, this is amazing for 30 minutes. Like a whole like townscape going on in the background. We have these characters walking along, the main characters with some. This is really, really cool. I can't wait to see this one like finished, honestly. I wonder, because if they can do this, if Candy Silver can do this in 30 minutes, imagine what they could do with more time. Another Tricks one. Oh my god. Tricks is just the like they just win the crown for most concepts in 30 minutes. Tiger flames. Ooh, cool flowers. I love doing exobiology. We did like a whole like different types of like creature kind of like environment, doing like a food web on like a fictional environment the other day in one of my classes, one of my mentorships. It was really, really fun. That's the one where I forgot to save. Oh, speaking of, I don't know if how long ago I saved, but let's just do that just for now. Void Rats. Concept sketch, hoping on the day it might be just a little bit better in the future. This is gorgeous. Look at that sunrise with the little windows and some plants on the... This is very nice. I love this. It has so much glow to it. Like it really feels like a warm, nice morning. I want to wake up to this sunrise. This is gorgeous. You guys are killing it, boy, right? I don't know how many more we have of these, but I'm just gonna keep going until we finish. Everyone thank Vin and Kevin for sticking around with me, because we are 17 minutes over time. We're going a lot over time right now. But yeah, I wanna make sure we continue with this. Oh, Jess knew the movie I was talking about, Real Steel. Yes, that's the name of the movie. Oh my god, I barely remember that movie, but it just came to my head. Yes, okay, it's so sick. We love cheese art. My drawings look like it's drawings compared to this. No, chocolate. It's a process, man. Like you go through them bit by bit. Turnaround sheets, yeah, I love them. Everyone's artist had different parts in their journey. Don't compare your journey to another person's. 100%. Jess is completely right. Yeah. Yeah, you never stop learning. Like they asked me before how I got to the professional level. I've never I never considered myself done when it comes to art, and I do it for a living. So another dent drawings, one more. We can see, ooh, this is very cool, like a fungal infected kind of like deer, but like in a very pretty magical way. They have 4 eyes. This is very nice. You can see, oh, you can see some of the references. See, references are so important. I keep them on my other monitor because I got the advantage of having 2 monitors. So I just get like my references on one thing on my PRF and then on the other thing. But yeah, very, very useful. Oops. All my windows. Oh my god. But yeah, amazing. So let's keep going. So Void Rat, character duo concept, jester and a poet of the stars. Ooh, this is gorgeous. Oh my god, I love seeing you guys as like sketches done on paper. Wow, these are so nice. See, like that blurring that you could do with your finger just by smudging, and you can create like that little blur here for like the blushes. I love the like idea of the gesture, but like the head is shaped like a star, like the head is shaped like the stars. That's so nice. You guys are so freaking talented. Shout out to Voidrat. Another Calamity one. Oh my god, we have another environment design one. This is very nice. Calamity seems to have very cool use of pen, like ink pen when they draw. This is the second one, I think, is they had the hut, like the little shed, right? Yeah, this is very good. They do a very good job at adding texture. You can see how like there's a lot of chaos going on in these lines, but they read very well as foliage. So like that chaos is 100% intentional because it creates like this very interesting texture. Like you can see it with the bricks and the rails and stuff. Like that's really, really cool. That's a really cool thing to implement. Ooh, Sish! Hey! Alright, here's mine. I usually don't like working that fast. But it's a fan challenge. Oh, this is very nice. Love the use of color. Like, we can see the light coming in here, shining on the riverbed. And, like, all the texture that you can see on the trees. This is very lovely. I know it's digital, but it looks like you did it with pastels. It almost has, like, that pastel kind of texture, right, guys? Yeah, this is amazing. This is very, very cool. But I have to compare myself to others, but try not to get me down too often. Yeah, Valken. You can't really compare yourself to others. You got to compare yourself to where you were in the past. Like, the best thing you can do as an artist is, instead of like comparing yourself to other people that might be farther along their art journey than you, is look back at the kind of stuff that you were drawing like 2, 5, 7 years ago and see how much you've grown. It happens with students all of the time. You guys completely forget how good you are. Like generally, like as like an instructor, you see the growth so incredibly obviously, but because you guys see your art every single day, you kind of forget how much you improved. Yeah, that was it. That was all of the 30-minute challenges we have so far. I mean, guys, it's a ton of them, but let's see if we can get it higher. Let's see how many more we can get in there. So challenge for everyone that's here with us on the stream. Yeah, go onto the Discord. Let me do the little pop-up. I love doing the little pop-up. Join the little Discord. Oh, where's me? I'm gone. Oh, there I am. I completely disappeared there for a second. Join the Discord, guys. Join our wonderful Discord. Go down to the Discord and submit your 30-minute exercises. Maybe you can join me in trying out some of this interior design thing. Again, these 3D plane things, they're all there on the Discord for you to get for free, so you can use them to kind of like guide you when it comes to the perspective of doing this kind of like exercise. It's very, very useful to have something like that. So yeah, I want to see what you guys come up with. Yeah, we also have a video up recently, my first video on the YouTube channel, where I go over storyboarding. If you don't know, I've been storyboarding for a bunch of years now. I've done some professional work storyboarding for some animated films, and yeah, you can see my entire process. And there's also a bunch of freebies there. I give you a free script and some free shorthands, so you can have your hand at storyboarding. So I just want to see what you guys do. I just want to keep seeing your amazing art in this wonderful community. So for anyone who's new and just showed up for the first time and you're like, oh my god, what's happening, who's this person, what's Wing Canvas? Yeah, we're a community of artists, and I'm one of the instructors here at Wing Canvas. We do a lot of classes, but we also have a free Discord and free content for everyone on our YouTube channel that we post weekly. So yeah, no, just join into our streams, check out our videos, And yeah, that's going to pretty much be the stream, guys. Thank you so much for joining. This was so friggin' fun. I love I love Hollow Knight. I love Silk Song. These are some of my favorite games. So thank you everyone for voting on the topic of today and picking Silk Song. Made me very happy. If you guys want to keep in touch with like what we do over in the channel, like for each one of these we tend to do votings for like what topics we're going to do every single stream. I believe we have streams on Saturdays and Mondays now. We might have some on Sundays. Let me know, Vin. I think it's just Saturdays and Mondays. But yeah, this is the, I mean, today's the Monday stream, so yeah, join us for all of those. Vote for the topics. And yeah, and come check us out on Discord. I'm there. I usually stick around a bit after the streams as well. So like if you wanna chat, just I'll be around taking a look at what everyone's up to there, and posting the finished version of this, because I'm definitely gonna spend some time coloring this and showcasing that finished version at some point, because yeah, I can't not color it, right, guys? So yeah, Saturdays and Mondays are streams, Wednesdays are videos. So every Wednesday we have a video drop, thanks Vin, and every Saturday and Monday we have streams. So yeah, check out our latest videos. Again, the latest one is mine, so completely biased. But if you care about storyboarding, that's a fun one. And yeah, join us for all the screens. What is best, more or less detail? Good question, Axel. I think it really does depend. Detail is a thing you want to be careful about. If you add too much detail, things get muddled. If you have too less detail, there's nothing to look at. So you kind of have to balance it. Put more details in the things you want people to focus on, less details in the things you want people to look away from. It's a balance. It's interesting. We can go into that on another stream. But yeah, everyone, thank you so much. Thank you, Vin. That is so nice. Everyone, thank Vin for sticking around with me and listening to me jab this whole time. Thank you for the babysitting. Thank you, all of you, for sticking around with me and listening to me blabbing on and on for the entire stream. Yeah, what's this? Oh, this is the picture I had before. It's more colorful. I'm gonna put this one up. But thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much for sticking around. You guys are absolutely wonderful. I had a wonderful time, a lot of fun. Thank you for all your questions. Thank you for all your chats. I'm very happy I'm not alone in my absolute love for Breath of the Wild and tasteful dislike of Tears of the Kingdom. Vin and I will see if we can make this happen, but maybe next time you'll see us playing. But yeah, thank you very much for everything, guys. You all were amazing. I will see you guys around. A big round of applause for Vin for sticking around for an extra almost 30 minutes with me. Yeah, this stream should be over 30 minutes ago, but I wanted to showcase all of the amazing work that the community has done. Yeah, become part of our community. Show us your amazing work. You'll get featured on all of the streams that we do. But yeah, thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye, guys.